Joining me now are Ryan and Nicholas from Massive to talk about the newly announced, a fresh surprise. It managed to be kept secret. I can't believe it. The Division, Tom Clancy game coming from Ubisoft and Massive. Congratulations on the announcement. You guys can finally talk about your game.
Yes. Finally. Yes.
That's exciting in and of itself, correct?
God, yes. Super exciting.
All right, so tell us all about this game, because it seemed really awesome during the press conference, but let's dive in a little bit. Set the stage for what The Division is all about.
Okay, so first of all, it's an online open world RPG game, and it's set in this very fragile society that we're living in. You know, we have our very comfortable lives with all our you know, the food in the refrigerators and all those things. But a deadly virus strikes New York City, and people can't go to work, and the whole society just crumbles around this scenario. And you are playing, you know, a Division agent running around in New York trying to rebuild what has fallen apart.
Okay, now obviously we saw, you know, what's interesting about this was the atmosphere to me that came across. You guys took a lot of time to set up this scenario. Talk about why that is such an important element to this game and what about it is going to make it stand out.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that it felt like we got across the fact that it's a dangerous world when you start the game in the Division. So it's all around New York in a lot of different areas, a lot of different iconic areas of New York, and we want to get that feeling across before we jumped into a fight and showed you some of the combat. So this is an example of just coming across some content, so the players actually find what would be a group encounter, but they decide to continue on to the police station, which is going critical, as you saw earlier on the map, to kind of basically re-secure that for the area from some Bratva thugs, some Russian thugs in the police station.
Okay, and obviously we're seeing now with the gameplay about to get into some action here. Talk a little bit about the action elements. This is a Tom Clancy game that goes in a lot of different directions. So where does this one land in terms of its pacing?
Well, yeah, it's something kind of new because we are merging basically classic Clancy with you know, tactical combat. Technology is key for us, and then wrapping that in RPG. So everything in the game has deep RPG elements. So it's very important what skills you load out, how those match with your weapons, the synergies between players, the skills that they choose to use to be more successful in combat. And we also are a cover-based game, so cover and tactical positioning is important. So elevation, where you're at, where your enemy's at is important.
Now we're seeing the placement of a drone there and
it's a turret.
A turret, okay.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about those types of elements in the game. What kind of surprises do you have in store?
There's tons of different things that you can use. You know, we are a class-less system. So you can just, you know, pick your own skills, whatever you want to have, and depending on, we're playing here together with other players, so we're, you know, running around 3 of us, and depending on the loadouts that they have. So if you look at the names down to the right, you see that you can see their loadouts, the skills that they have selected as their primary skills, and you can load out, you know, complementary skills and use them to just make the group synergy become even better.
And talk a little bit about the skills. How do you come about, do you acquire them throughout the game or just upgrade the ones that you start off with? How does that system work?
It's similar to a talent system where you go down deeper, you get more points, and you can invest and decide where you want to go. So you have to unlock them first, and then you can select them as you play through the game. You can choose the skills you need for the different encounters or depending on what you're doing.
But it's important to get across that it's an open system. So rather than being locked into a tree or a choice that you do in a lot of, let's say, contemporary role-playing games or RPGs, this is more open. So as you level up through the game and progress, you'll be able to have a wide variety of skills and talents. And depending on what you're playing and who you're playing with, you can make choices based on that to maximize your synergies.
We're seeing a lot of environmental destruction here. The individual lights on the cop car were getting blown out. How deep does this game go in terms of immersion?
We try to do as much as we can, you know, just to make it, you know, the power of the next generation consoles makes it possible to do a lot of these things that are very expensive before.
Yeah.
But not matter, we also have something, it's the dynamic content system, which basically means that when you're running around, the content is spawning dynamically, so each playthrough is different, which means that helicopters and stuff running around.
Part of the game, it's atmosphere.
Our rides here.
So you can just use I completely lost it due to the helicopter. But you're running around in the world and you see new content every time. And you never know what's around the next corner, if it's a friend or a foe, or if, you know, it's a new event you have never seen before, or maybe it's the item you've been looking for all week.
Okay, well, Ubisoft announcing brand new games at the end of its press conference is becoming a trend. Congratulations to you guys on this
Thank you very
exciting
much.
Thank
new
you very
announcement.
much.
Looking forward to seeing how it develops, and have a great E3. We appreciate you guys stopping by.
Sure.
Thank you.